Nintendo is suing Yuzu Emulator, so let's go take a look. Defendant Tropic Haze LLC is an entity that owns, develops, and operates Yuzu, a video game emulator for Nintendo Switch games. A video game emulator is a piece of software that allows users to unlawfully play pirated video games that were published only for a specific purpose on a general purpose computing device.
Nintendo's trying to ban emulators. I repeat, Nintendo's trying to ban emulators.
Oh, shit.
Here we go again.
Okay, I just read that first paragraph and I'm already seeing problems here. The point of Yuzu and other emulators like it is game preservation. Even on Yuzu's site, they literally state here, you are legally required to dump your games from your Nintendo Switch. And look, there's a guide right here. And here it tells you how to dump your games that you already purchased and paid for to run on Yuzu Emulator. But the thing is, Nintendo probably isn't trying to win this case. What's most likely going on is they're trying to tear Yuzu down with court and lawyer fees because a giant corporation like Nintendo has more money than a small team like Yuzu will probably ever make in their lifetime. But you know, this situation gets even worse because of this other paragraph. As to piracy, for instance, one recent major Nintendo game, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, was unlawfully distributed a week and a half before its release by Nintendo. Infringing copies of the game that circulated online were able to be played in Yuzu, and those copies were successfully downloaded from pirate websites over 1 million times before the game was published and made available for lawful purchase by Nintendo. Many of the pirate websites specifically noticed the ability to play the game file in Yuzu. Defendants' development and distribution of Yuzu to the public materially contributes to and induces those third parties to infringe on the copyrights of Nintendo's games. Defendant is thus secondarily liable for the infringement committed by the users to whom it distributes Yuzu.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
See, and here's the other problem. Nintendo is trying to make Yuzu the scapegoat for all those pirated copies of Tears of the Kingdom. Never mind the fact that Ryujinx also exists, but we're not gonna get into that. What Nintendo is doing is blaming a symptom and not the issue itself. One of the major issues is that nobody wants to play a game at 30 FPS that dips to low 20s on a device that's probably less powerful than the average cell phone in current year. Seriously, side note, it's time for a Switch too. But another issue with this is that Nintendo is doing this near the end of the Switch's lifespan. Look at when Yuzu came out. Now look at when the Nintendo Switch came out. This emulator has been out nearly as long as the damn Switch itself. So why do this 6 years after it's been out? But you know, the Nintendo fanboys on Twitter saw this and decided to have a field day with this. So let's go see their dumbass tweets. In shambles. PC gamers when they finally have to buy a Switch.
Ha! No.
Good, emulating fucking GameCube games is one thing, but the Switch is an active console, and that's proof that they're losing money. Not sure what they expected.
Ruh-roh. The beginning of the end of emulation is here. Without it, PC gaming can't even begin to compete with Nintendo. Oh, hey, it's Harmon Smith. He also made a 9-minute video about this topic.
Oh my god, bro, is dick riding all you do?
Yeah, I'm not gonna respond to that video. Fuck that. About time, massive W.
I agree with Nintendo suing Yuzu.
Your bootlicker.
You fanboys are missing the big picture. It's not just about Yuzu. If Nintendo wins this case and successfully tears down Yuzu, they aren't going to stop there. Dolphin and Ryujinx will most likely be next, followed by all the other Nintendo emulators. Hell, Sony might go after PlayStation emulators if Nintendo succeeds. The fact that you fanboys are blinded to this fact is kinda sad, to be honest.
It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
And the thing is, Nintendo will never stop emulation entirely. If they do take down Yuzu, I guarantee you another one is gonna pop up not too long after this one. Nintendo is going to be playing whack-a-mole with all these emulators that will keep popping up. Also, because of this move, Nintendo pushed me to go download every Nintendo emulator, so thank you for that, Nintendo. But to all you fanboys celebrating this, I hope those boots taste good.
People who emulate games should be fined or sent to jail for theft. Emulation is illegal and hurts the industry. I pay for my games, so should you. It's only fair.
Do you even listen to yourself when you talk?
I drift in and out.
This right here is what you would call a corporate cuck. Notice this tweet said emulators, not just Yuzu, implying they meant all emulators. You should be put behind bars or pay a massive fine because you chose to go emulate, I don't know, Pokemon Emerald or something. Real sound logic there. Also, emulation is not illegal. When will you fanboys get this through your thick skulls? Plus, Nintendo sold you 3 ROMs in the form of Super Mario 3D All-Stars. So by your logic, Nintendo broke the law and they should go to jail or pay a massive fine.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Also, this brings me to a third major issue about Nintendo. They don't like to provide people with a means to play their older games, and when they do provide it, they do it in a weird way like Super Mario 3D All-Stars, where they remove the means to directly support them by putting a deadline on the time retailers could sell that product. But on the topic of older emulators, that's another major issue with Nintendo. They like to create artificial scarcity with their product. Take Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. It came out 20 years ago, and they just announced a remake that's supposed to come out this year. But it's been 20 years since they have officially sold this game. Nintendo doesn't want me to fire up my Dolphin emulator to play this game, even though they can no longer profit from it. They'd rather I go on eBay and buy a copy of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door in a GameCube, even though they can't profit off of this anymore.
Yeah, that.
Now, I could understand why Nintendo doesn't like people using current emulators, because that makes sense, the console is still active. But they went after Dolphin when it tried to come to Steam, which is a software that emulates Wii and GameCube games, which are games they no longer sell.
Why are you like this?
That right there is where people draw the line and tell Nintendo to fuck off. But enough on that, let's get to the next tweet. Let's get real, 99.9% of Yuzu users use it to play pirated games.
Sources. Dude, trust me. Citation 1, it is known. Citation 2, it is known. Citation 3, it is known. And Citation 4, it is known.
Nintendo Switch is a console currently sold, and Switch games are all but retro games. Defending Yuzu is defending piracy, and as a developer, I'm all against piracy, even if it's piracy of a mega corporation game. Piracy is piracy and has nothing to do with retro gaming.
You're a fucking dumbass.
Most people aren't defending Yuzu because they get to pirate current Nintendo games. They're defending it because if Nintendo succeeds, this could set a bad precedent for all the other emulators in game preservation. Companies don't care about game preservation because they would rather sell that same game to you over and over every console generation, which is probably a major reason why these companies go after emulation so viciously. Eliminate all other options and people don't have much of a choice but to pay up. But you know, the stupidity doesn't end here. We have another brain rot inducing tweet.
To be honest, it's their fault for leaking games before launch and supporting piracy inside their own Patreon. Also, I see little point in a Switch emulator when the game isn't even a retro console no longer produced. It's one of the cheapest consoles in the market right now.
I'ma plant me a dumbass tree!
Yuzu doesn't leak games. If a game gets leaked early, then most likely someone who works at a retailer took a copy home and ripped the file and uploaded it to the internet. Another case could be as some stores sold the game a few days early, which I believe happened with Pokemon's Legends Arceus before it came out. Nowhere in that equation is that Yuzu's fault. But you know what? That's enough brain rot for the day. If you enjoyed the video and you want more fanboy salt, make sure to subscribe. I would appreciate it so much, and if you made it this far in the video, you're the best. I appreciate you so much, and I'll catch you next time.